Yo, so people, Rita is, in fact, Rita, I'm going to make you the host so that you can just keep adding people as they jump in. Bear with me.
That's no problem.
Otherwise, I'll be like in the middle of a flow and then I'll have to like let another person in, another person in. Where is it? Did that come through? Yeah. Mint.
Yeah, it has.
Sweet, perfect. Just give me like 2 seconds, guys. Let me just move this off my screen and then we will hop straight in. Mint, let's jump in then. So we've got an hour. Build a BFM. If you haven't been on this call before, I basically give you an inside look into our business, which is like really fucking scary every single time because you unveil all the things that are wrong with the business. And from the outside, everyone always thinks it's perfect. And it's not. Everyone has problems, everybody has churn, everybody has good days and bad days. So let's jump in then. So I always like to just quickly recap. I'm gonna have to request to share the screen for you. Cheers. I always like to just quickly recap what we put down last time. So let me just move this out my way. And June. So in June, then some of the big takeaways were we were seeing growth from ads, UK and USA. The affiliates were doing a number as well. Story reshares, even though we weren't getting many of them. I think it's just weird when like you're a business coach and fitness coaches like share your stuff. They almost like don't want to tell their clients sometimes. But when we did get them, people just always seem to refer and sign up, and then personal story content was doing really well. Uh, Back last month as well, not last month, but the month before. I'm obviously talking about June right now. Previously, we were testing USA ads, top of funnel. There's probably a lot more USA people on this call than there is UK right now, so you can see how that one ended out. Landing page conversion rate we were testing, just different VSLs, different structures of it. And the things that were working for coaches that I was noticing that month, and by all means, these things don't change. These things just work non-stop. But these are just like the things that I noticed that month was high standards. Probably because I've seen people with some low standards whinging. Being desirable and just being a person that somebody wanted to work with. Focusing on the one or two needle movers. And then what the fuck do you say that word again? Expectation setting. There we go. What flopped for us at the time was the PT qualification providers. We just weren't getting a reply. These were some of the lessons that we took away. Ideas that I was exploring was remodeling scale, which I'm going to come to that in this call actually. The USA ads, we're going to think about doubling down and then pushing for the top 20 in the school games, which we'll speak about that as well. Last month, there was a lot of things that we launched. We launched the Client Acquisition 101 training, which is inside the Quick Cash module. Great video if you haven't watched it already. Nicole's female coaching we launched, which is great. The One Fit partnership is absolutely smashing it, and the accountability coach, which that's a really interesting topic to talk about today as well. Because we didn't get a massive uptake on this until we changed one little thing, which that's going to be interesting for you. Copywriting module, I want to speak about that at the end, and we also changed the affiliate program to 40%, which we'll speak about at some point as well. Let's come into this month then. So, July, guys, nothing changes. The mission is exactly the same. It's to provide an affordable opportunity for anybody to start and scale their online fitness business. It's pretty simple, but it seems to be working. Vision is to become the only name worth mentioning in the online fitness business space, just pure domination. Goals wise, it's still to hit 1,000 members by 2027. It's extremely ambitious, especially when you do the maths and look at the numbers. But I think that we can do it mathematically. Um, Community metrics, then let's get into the juicy data. This is what everyone's here for. They want to be like, how many people left this month, Ryan? Show me, make me feel better about myself. Let's jump into it then. So, first things first, let's actually just talk about BFM. So, if you haven't been on this call previously, we split these up into three. The first one that we're going to go through is just the BFM community. Let me just zoom out with that. Cool. Cool then. So first thing is that's really fucking cool is we've nearly been doing this for 12 months. It doesn't feel like we've been doing this for 12 months. It feels like we've been doing this for like 5 or 6. But that's probably because the growth actually only ramped up over the last 3 to 4 months where we've actually like found the mechanism and doubled down on it. A little bit of context for people that are just looking at this for the first time then. So first day's total is a left-hand side. That's how many people are in the group at the first of every month. The last day total is the last people that are in the group every day of the month. Clients joined is how many has joined that month in total. That could be from ads, referrals, affiliates, anything. And then how many people left us that month. The metrics on the right-hand side is churn, that's CCR, then CGR is customer growth rate, and then customer acquisition rate. And then revenue is something I've recently added on the right-hand side as well, because everyone wants to know that. Let's talk about it then. So the month prior, July, I was absolutely buzzing with. The thing I really wasn't buzzing with though is that churn again. Um, there's actually a lesson I'm going to speak about this on like expectations. If you look at the very, very top of here, I have a goal of getting churn to 10%. Now, that would require us to like cut churn in half, which is very hard, especially when we're scaling so fast. Because when things scale so fast, people dip in, dip out, you get bad fits, whatever it might be. It's a very difficult metric to control, and it's one that takes months to try and fix. If you think about it like this, you could acquire two, three, four times the amount of clients next month by cranking up the ads, but changing the structure that somebody comes through and how they emotionally feel, whether they want to stay or leave, that can take months of little tweaks and changes. So this is a very, very hard metric to change, but it's one that I know that if we can get it to something like 10 to 15%, well, in fact, 15% is like our average, um, it makes this incredibly scalable. In fact, if we all like pay attention to this number right here, this is our LTV. So this is what like each one of you guys are worth to us. Um, if I change, if my computer doesn't have a, spaz attack on me, let's try that again. Bear with me, let me refresh that. If I change this metric up here from 15.9% to 20%, you can see that this comes down from $800 to 645. Now, when we're looking at ads and acquiring clients, that's a fucking big difference to what people are worth to us. A hell of a big difference. So I know that we like to pay attention to how many people are coming through the front door, and you look and think, oh my God, we're signing up clients, this is fantastic. But please pay attention in your business to how many people are leaving as well. It was one of the pitfalls in our fitness business, which we were amazing at acquiring clients. It's almost like I'm really good at marketing and wasn't that good at the client fulfillment for the fitness coaching, and everybody was leaving out the back door, which is a problem whenever you run the business. We're looking at this 21%. Like, I'm totally cool with that. That's fine. It's not a million miles away from where our average is. It's a little bit higher than where I want it to be. I actually, for some reason, my expectations were through, and I thought that maybe some of the top communities inside of school were having like a 10 to 15% churn rate. Um, Not the case. The average community in school that's doing well has got like a 30% and above churn rate. Which as soon as I heard that, I was like, we're doing amazing. Happy days. But that's when it comes down to expectation setting. It was actually I sat on a call, and the guy that makes the most money inside of school does like 300K a month. And he was saying like, oh, our trend's really good and we're doing all these things. And I'm listening, like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then somebody says, what's your churn? And he's like 25% on average. And I'm like, hang on a minute. For some reason, I thought this was going to be like 12 or he's going to say like 10 or something. So expectations are very, very important. But looking across the board then, so we started with 114 at the start of the month. We ended at 160. 71 clients came on board. The majority of those were through paid ads, which we'll be running through in a minute, and 25 clients left. There's a few things that we're going to try and do to reduce that churn, which I'll speak about as well. The growth metrics then, so the fact that this is pretty much steady is a very, very difficult thing to do because this is based off the fact of how many people that you had to the start of this month versus how many people that you're bringing in. Usually these metrics come down the higher that you scale up. But luckily for us, we've been making some big jumps between 33 clients coming in this month to 52 here to 71 here, etc. Um, Obviously, the big red, not big red flag, but let's say big green flag is the revenue jump from this month to this month. School's always a funny one where you have to wait like 19 days to get paid, which is awful. When you guys take a Stripe payment and it pays you in 3 days, I don't get that. Uh, School gets paid, they then do the processing, and then it only comes out on a Wednesday, and then it comes across to you. And on average, that's about 19 days, which is painful when we're trying to scale ads. However, That's where we ended in July this month, which is great for MMR purposes. But that's BFM. Next, scale. So scale for me is not the attention taker at all. And I say this every single month. And I think it's still hilarious that it's not the attention taker and it still has made way more money than the group. And that's why I always laugh when people say, Ryan, I really want to start a group. It looks like you're doing really well. And I'm like, don't start a group. It- it- if your priority is to make money, go fucking deliver one-to-one. Um, Obviously, our priority is to make money like any business, but I also want to have a monster that dominates a whole industry. And I'm quite happy to give up revenue for a short period of time for it to start compounding like this as time comes on. But if I wanted to make more money tomorrow, I would shut the school group down, get rid of these all, and ask all of you if you want to do one-to-one and probably send this through the fucking roof. Maybe I'll do that next month. Who knows if I really get sick, yes. Jokes aside, scale and some scale, we lost no clients last month, which is cool. Clients joined one. Megan jumped in, which was awesome, and that was pretty much it. Nothing else to say about scale. I'll talk about the remodeling of scale or the thoughts that I had to remodel scale at the back end of this as well. Accountability coach then. So this was a brand new offer that we launched last month. And scale is obviously more of a one-on-one higher touch point, way more expensive option because it just takes so much of my time. Like I literally do a one-on-one weekly call with all the clients inside of there. Um, Accountability coach, though, we wanted to take the same like ethos and concept and vision from that and apply it to this offer. Um, in fact, I have to tell a funny story actually. We launched this, and then I think about 2 weeks later, one of the ladies from the US jumped inside the group and she mentioned that she'd hired an accountability coach like 2 weeks prior. And I was like, can you just stay at the back end of the call for like 5 minutes? And she stayed. And I was like, out of curiosity, how long's the program and how much did you pay? And she was like, well, it's a 3 month program and it was $2,000 up front. And I was like, sorry. I was like, you know that ours is like £99 a month. And she's like, yeah, see, and I might just do that one next. And I was like, Jesus Christ. However, all that is a big fucking shiny object that has nothing to do with me at all. That's what that is. Because it's really easy to see and go, wow, somebody's charging this much. Let's go do that. It's like, no, let's look at the vision. Let's look at the mission. That's not what we want to do. We want to provide an affordable opportunity. So as with the accountability coach, we stuck with the super affordable, low price point for it. We had two people uptake it pretty quick, and then it was really, really quiet. It was like crickets. A lot of the people didn't even know that it existed. And outside of Vita, I can't see a lot of the people that are in the group uptaking it because people get complacent. They think, oh, I'm in now, I'll just do this by myself. But what we wanted to do was make sure that the new people that came into the group, they knew it existed, and we wanted them to know that there was a great offer to get them rolling into this. I can see Josh nodding because Josh was like, "Yeah, fuck right." I took that offer straight away. Like it was a total no-brainer. So the offer that we came up with was if we can liquidate even 10% of our ads when we're spending like $400 a day on ads. If we can liquidate like 10% of that, that gives us some more to play back with. And we get somebody that's going to stay a lot longer because when they get more support, they're going to get more help, they're going to get better results. And on top of that, they're going to roll to a higher monthly rolling. We stuck in place a $30 for 30 days, which is $1 a day for high level support and accountability, which is a fucking total no-brainer offer. Hence, we then started to get everybody say yes to it. And now we were like, hey, there's like 11 people on this now. Like maybe we might have to chill out on this offer. But for now, it's going to stay where it is. And I think the most important thing that got the uptake on it was the 24 hours to make a decision. The scarcity and FOMO of like, this is a really good offer, and I have to decide right now, otherwise it's gone forever. I think that's really important. So yeah, the accountability wise, seven on board, obviously seven joined, nobody's left yet, which is nice that nobody's left in, like the 7 to 14 days that it's been run.
That was
Uh,
nine, actually, Ryan.
yeah, this is for this month.
Oh, July, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously August,
sorry.
people have signed up for
Yeah.
August as well. So you're spoiling August. So yeah,
Boy,
that's
sorry.
it. August is not happening. August
I'll
is
shut up now.
yeah, yeah. I'm joking. So that's the accountability coach. And then when we break down the metrics, then so this is brand new as well, so we know the path that somebody's coming into. 71 BFM, 7 to the accountability coach, 1 went into sales. So that's a 9% upsell to the AC and a 1.4% to the upsell. I don't have any personal like targets on these things because I'm honestly not sure what to expect for somebody coming into this. Realistically, what I would like is a 20% uptake here. That would be nice. And honestly, because I don't want to work with a lot of one-to-one clients, I'm almost like reluctant to fucking take people on. I would like a 1 to 2% uptake rate here. And what I'll probably do is just keep increasing the price and increasing it until more people stop asking for one-on-one help. Because the reality is the group is like it's that good that most people don't need one-on-one help. The one-on-one is when somebody wants to like let's go fucking super aggressive and send this dude, which again isn't going to be for the majority of people. Looking on the back of that, then, so this is where we're at. The ad spend in July was $9,000, a little bit over that. Revenue was 25K and month-over-month growth went up by 113%. Main thing that obviously contributed towards this growth was spending a lot more fucking money on ads. Funny enough, like obviously ad budget doubled. We actually took out I didn't mention this, we took out a loan at the start of the month because we thought that we'd need more capital with the school delay time. Um, we didn't. We were basically sitting there being like, we've got shitloads of money. To the point where I'm like, how can we fucking spend more? Which is a good place to be. But yeah, we spent as much as we possibly could. We're gonna obviously try and move that up as we come through, but revenue had a massive uptake on there. Obviously, one of the key points was the one-on-one sale on top of that. But yeah, that's the business like landscape at the minute. That's how everything's looking. That's how many people are leaving us, and that's how many people are joining us, and that's how many people are having a good time and a bad time. So hopefully that gives you a better bit of context to whereabouts we're at. Beyond that, then we're looking at where the actual growth is coming from. This is super fucking important. So I obviously have 5 live calls a week with you guys, and I hear your thoughts and your feelings all the time on those calls and in the group. Everybody is so fucking sensitive to shiny objects, including myself. And when we're surrounded by coaches 24/7, it's very, very easy to get sidetracked and think, I'm going to do what he's doing instead of just doing what you're doing and what's working for you. So the big do more sign right here is not by accident. And I honestly think that this is an exercise that everybody should do every single month. They should write down where their growth is coming from. Where's the mass majority of signups come from? And you need to double down on that thing, not the other things. So for us right now, it's mainly ads. And you can see here, I've actually crossed out the UK because we spent next to nothing on UK in the last month. Purely because from the USA standpoint, and the UK people in here, maybe I'm going to like the sound of this. And remember, I'm from the UK as well. UK people can be very small-minded sometimes. They can be very compulsive and they can be very negative around a scenario that isn't really that fucking deep, like having a bad day. What we found is the USA guys and girls that come in are a lot more positive. They're a lot more long-term thinking. And this is going to sound crazy, but they're a lot more appreciative, which I don't need my balls licked, but just like a nice thanks, Ryan, goes a long way. And I wouldn't even mind paying a little bit more money just to have that vibe in the community. Now, that's obviously not every single fucking client that's in here, but that's just a general umbrella of what we're seeing with the USA versus the USA versus USA, the USA versus the UK mindset. And anybody that's worked with UK and USA fitness clients can probably be like, yeah, I agree. Uh, Beyond that, then let's have a look at the ads and what we're running. So let's go to the last month, so June, July, and hopefully it doesn't confuse you because obviously this is in pounds and we're tracking in dollars. But if we look at the actual campaigns, you can see the majority of the spend here was spent on cold traffic USA, which is about $4,500. The cold UK, we spent about 2K, and I'm going to show you all that in a second. Um, the rest was on warm retargeting. Funny enough, we have a lot better success with warm retargeting in the UK than we did in the USA, to the point where I've like kind of pulled back on it a little bit. just like cool top of funnel. Basically, don't know who the fuck I am. Throw an ad in front of them seems to be working a lot better than I've seen your stuff and I'm gonna jump on. I don't know if that comes back to my point with the mindset of the USA people versus the UK, where maybe a UK customer just takes one or two more clicks or a little bit longer of a time to go, okay, I want to do this. Hence why the retargeting is actually cheaper. And then the USA ones, maybe why it's more expensive is because they've already decided if they want to work with me or not. And they're like, I'll sign up or I won't sign up. Like Josh, I don't think we spoke before you joined. I think you just clicked an ad and signed up. Alex, I think you just clicked the ad and signed up. I think literally like 70% of the USA clients clicked the ad and signed up. So you can see where the mindset shift is there from the value proposition of how fast somebody wants to move through this, which from a business owner standpoint, that's what you want. You want somebody that's just going to go, boof, let's just fucking do this. Ad sets then, you might be scared for how much we're testing. You don't have to test this much. Just to put this into terms, one of the clients, Les, has just done a $32,000 month this month. He's ran one ad for about 3 months. That's it. Uh, and it's working incredibly fucking well. Drew came on the call today. He's like, I've had the best month I've ever had. I've signed the most clients ever. And I was like, what were you doing, Drew? And he's like, I'm running the exact same ad that we set up when I worked with you one-on-one like 6 months ago. And I'm like, fantastic. So you don't need to test this much. All right. Um, let's jump into it though. So the main thing for me is we're trying to find creatives that are popping essentially, and you might notice some ads here if if you've signed up viewing a few of them. That's sort of by the highest spend. So these ones right here seem to be doing well for us, which is like a direct comparison of uh, spend a lot of money, get nothing, spend a little bit of money, get a lot, which sounds horrendous that that's the marketing, and people are like, yes, I agree. It shows how fucked up the industry is. However, it seems to be working because it's hitting on that pain point. Another one that tended to do well was like memes like this, which I call like shit ads, ads that look really bad but perform really well. I mean, this literally says trainers dropping 10K on a course, still no clients, and then obviously what you feel like when you join BFM. I think everybody feels like this when they join BFM. I think they like stick the glasses on and sit back and pop the cigar, don't they? I've made it, man. A few of the things that were doing well was the just general speaking to camera. I always find this a little bit weird when we're talking about UK, USA accents, because I feel like, I don't know about you, but when I see a US accent and I'm sitting in the UK, I like stop for a second and I'm like, do I trust them a little bit more? Like, is there that barrier there? But I don't know. I mean, the guys that are the USA's in here, like, do you feel like there's any barrier when you hear a UK accent, or does it just blend in straight away?
It I don't know. I never got any of those. I usually just got
Yeah,
the memes, the meme ads. But yeah, I
yeah.
don't really think like
No. What about yourself, Josh and Alex? Did you guys think like there's a UK accent? Did it pause you for a second or not?
Probably drew me in more than anything, just because it's different than what I'm used to seeing all over the place. But yeah, as far as like barrier or trust or anything like that, that wasn't really an issue.
Interesting. Alex, what about yourself?
For me, it wasn't really a barrier, but I do have a UK client that
Yeah,
I train virtually every single day, so I'm used to hearing the UK accent, I guess.
yeah. Cool. Maybe I'll try and stand out even more. Maybe I'll like wear a top hat and a monocle or something and like really get your attention. Got like a London accent on. Try and get
That would be an interesting ad.
yeah, it would. I'm not sure if that would raise the skepticism or that would be like, like this guy gets it. But yeah, the meme ads seem to be doing well. And funny enough, these are all generated by ChatGPT. I'm not that creative to be able to put this together. This is just a ChatGPT prompt, and then I added a title to it. Um, yeah, just things like this
Oh,
seem to be
sorry.
working.
Can I ask you about that really quick? So you mentioned those meme ads are Chat GPT. Now I have the paid version as well. Did Chat GPT formulate that whole visual?
Yeah, the whole thing. So
Oh shit, that's pretty dope.
everything on the bottom part is ChatGPT, and then I just take it across to Canva, and I would put this part in here, the very top.
Oh, okay. And now
Sometimes
do you have the like 20-pound version or the 200-pound version or whatever?
I just pay like £20 a month. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
cool that it's able to do that.
You can ask Vita how long I'm sitting there sometimes generating these images. Like ChatGPT, somebody said it had like an 11,000 IQ. I'm not fucking sure about that sometimes. Like I'm asking it like, don't do this, and then it does it like 5 times on the image, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, so yeah, it's definitely a temporary sometimes, but if there's any like little things that are a bit shit, like it done my logo really badly, so I just took it into Canva, covered it, and then put my logo there. Just little things like that. But if it can do like 99% of the heavy lifting, it means that we can test so many different ads and then be like, which one works? This one works. Um, but yeah, memes seem to be doing well. I thought this one was quite funny when I made it as well, which was like handsome Squidward versus like ugly Squidward. Yeah, there's plenty. But we're just going to continue to test those as they come through. And there's nothing really much else to show you in the ad account. I mean, I can show you the UK ads that we ran. This one, yeah, which again weren't that much difference. We were doing a 1% lookalike audience here and getting good results. I am trying to stack all the names and emails. I'm not going to sell you data, but I am stacking all the names and emails of the US guys and girls so that we can eventually test a lookalike audience. The UK ones were mainly just verbal talking ads, though. Again, a little bit cheaper to acquire these people, a lot longer to get them to actually fucking sign up, and a lot more conversations being had rather than just clicking on a landing page and signing up. And then also just a little bit less upsell potential when we talk about one-on-one and accountability, etc. So things balance out as time comes. But let's have a look at the ads data then. So where is it? Here it is. Just move this. Cool. So July. July, we obviously started out mainly with the UK audience targeting, which is this one right here. Oh, just for like a little bit of like a caveat, because obviously we've shifted to the USA, I've changed all of our tracking data into dollars instead of pounds. This took me like fucking 2 hours to go back through all of the spreadsheets and sit on Google and fucking try, all right, this is dollars, this is pounds. So I hope you appreciate that you can understand this. All right. Sorry to the UK guys and girls. I know Catherine, you're sitting there and Tom's like, what the fuck does this mean? Uh, it's not that much difference. There's about 25% more value in a dollar than a pound, or the other way around. You know what I mean? Um, Either way, UK ones in. So we spent about 2.7K dollars off the back of that. Cost per sale was about 110 for that total month. Lifetime wise, was about 119. So again, under the 129 that we collect up front, but just with that wait period, it's a little bit of a bitch sometimes. So we're kind of like breaking even on month one and then making profit on month two, three, four, five, six because our churn is at like 15 to 20% on average, which again is how most businesses run. But everyone's like really obsessed with making 10x your money on month one, which doesn't normally happen that often. People love to market it if it does though. USA though, so we started running it obviously the back end of the month prior in June. We got one or two early sales inside of here, and then we had a really cold streak. And this is the point right here where people normally shut the ads off and say that they don't work uh, when you just have a bad week with it. So took us about a week to actually get somebody through the front door, and then we had two, another one, and then three, and then all of a sudden we're positive. Great. It's just little tweaks and changes sometimes. Something as silly as a USA guy girl coming onto the VSL, and I'm speaking about in pounds and UK time zones. Like when you watch the VSL now, I speak about a UK time zone, but I also say Eastern and Central and so and so. So that just takes away that like, does this work for me? Does it not? If I gotta go convert this, then I'll come back, and you fucking lose customers. Just little things like that matter sometimes. And I also think that dollars is way more universal than pounds is. I think everybody understands like what a dollar is, just in a context. But yeah, we kept rocking with that. And by the end of the month, we were looking at a cost per sale of about 164. So it's actually, higher than what the UK ones were. But if we look at the return on ad spend, it's higher. So we used to run an ad to places like New York, and we would say, like, we're looking for men that make over $100,000 a year that want to get in the greatest shape of their life. All of the comments were calling us like a piece of shit because it's very, very specific and we're like calling out a revenue number. And we used to pay like $40 to $50 for one lead, but they were all fucking super qualified. So it doesn't matter sometimes if you're paying more for that client, if that client is worth more to you. That's what you gotta look at in this. And realistically, if you can pay $100 a lead and every single lead's worth fucking $600 to you, like that's a great business because now you don't have to have hundreds of conversations on the back end to get one person signed in. Beyond that, then, so we spent about 6K on the USA ads, took on about 39 clients, cash contracted and collected was about 9.1, obviously due to the fact that we made the one-on-one sale and a few of the upsells for the accountability coaching. So that's where that laid out to. Let me just zoom out here. Back into that, we obviously had some people, and just for context, I just track past ads. So if we ran an ad like 3 months ago for a webinar, and that guy turned up to the webinar and signed up 3 months later, we track that as a past ad because that was still an ad that got a client. So we track the past ads, a few people come trickling through. Overall for that month, that's where the numbers were at. Spent about 8K, made 12, we're happy, great. The thing for us is this is a very false number because we have no contracts and you guys can come and stay as long as you want. Some of you guys are going to leave a month one and some of you are never going to leave. So this kind of throws things off, especially because we've only been in business for 11 months now. We don't really know the true LTV. It's going up and up and up every single month on how long people are staying with us. So I'm going to say this is more around about 700%, which I plan on being in business longer than 30 days. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, contextual wise, if you want something a little bit more easy to see, I just restructured it, and this is how I'm going to track going forward. That's the BFM sales, that's the cash collected, the accountability sales, and then the one-on-one sales. And as we come throughout this month on month on month, I'll share this style of tracking data, so it's a little bit more easy for you guys to consume as well. Amazing. That's the ads. I think there's a few messages in the chat box. Is there anything I should go about? Want me to spreadsheet for trying numbers? You pay something? No, I did them all myself, and I just sat and banged my head against the wall for like 5 hours, Tom, until I learned how to do spreadsheets, and then I'm still like really bad at it, but I get through. Any of these that you want to, just let me know. I'll send it across for you. The majority of them obviously inside the portal as well. Mint, nice. That's all the data and that's all the numbers. That's how our business is doing right now. I'm happy where it is. We're seeing good growth. We just need to keep sustaining that and keep moving forward. And obviously get better wherever we can. Beyond that, then, what we covered. What am I testing right now? Top of funnel ads. We've just covered that. Landing page conversion rate. We're going to keep on testing that. Ideally, I would like it to be more around about the 4%. It's fluctuating around about the 3% right now. I think when school release the Apple Pay option, I think our conversion rate's going to go up because I've had people message me being like, do you take Apple Pay? And they're like, oh, I'll sign up next week. Like, I can see fucking people nodding as I'm saying this, like, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, right? I know. So I think when that comes in place, I think that's going to boost our conversion rate without doing anything, which is a nice place to be. Cold email. This is like a big shiny object that I just couldn't get out of my head. So we've set it up and I've just offboarded it to somebody else. So shout out Gulam. I think that's how you say his name. I've probably totally butchered it, but he's taking care of that in the back end. I will report in 30 days how the cold email goes because we've literally just started that. So that might be interesting for some of you. Also, some of you, if you get a cold email from me, like tell me. I'm curious to see if we get some going through. What's working for other coaches then? So this is very, very important. And again, month on month on month, I share things that I see is working for other coaches like yourselves. This doesn't mean that this is all you should be doing, but this is just what I've been reminded of this month. Let's zoom in on this because it's really, really important. First thing is just laser focus on the thing, not the 5 things. And what I mean by the thing is the 1 or 2 things that are working, the thing that's moving you forward, not this thing and that thing and that thing. If you want to do this thing and that thing and that thing, offboard it to somebody else, because then you've got all your time and attention back. That's super important. And again, I sit on call after call after call, and I hear people with 101 amazing ideas. That's their amazing idea. It doesn't need to be your amazing idea. Like if you're trying to build Amazon, you don't need to fucking build Apple at the same time. Like we can just have one great idea and become very, very good at that one thing. High standards. I said this last month and I'm going to say it again. This is so fucking important. When we've got high standards, that carries across everything. That carries on how you show up, how you talk to people, how you interact with people from a day-to-day aspect, week to week, month to month, year to year. Just having high standards and showing up in a way with high standards across the board, you will not have a problem here. When somebody has low standards, when they can just roll the dice and go, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm not going to show up today, I can't be bothered, that's when things collapse from day one. High standards is you can see it as soon as you speak to somebody, as soon as you hear them talk, as soon as you hear them react to a scenario, you can tell it straight away. This is extremely important. I should hope that the fact that all you guys are here and you're sitting listening to me ramble for like 40 minutes, you've got some high standards. You're obviously invested in your business. All right. But keep those fucking high standards. Expectation setting. I learned that this month as well because I thought that our churn was not good as an industry standard. It's fucking great. When we have false expectations, you're just going to feel lost. You don't know if you're doing great, doing bad, and then you go into fucking panic mode. You start trying to fix things that really aren't fixed. So expectation setting is incredibly important. And anybody that's done an onboarding call with me recently, I try incredibly hard to set expectations. And normally that's where refund requests come in because people realize that they don't get Lamborghinis in 30 days. But that's fine. I don't mind that. I'd rather that. Eat shit. I haven't said this in a while actually. But the guys that have just obviously watched the onboarding calls will be hearing this recently. I just don't think people eat shit as much as they fucking should. I think they do for a day or two, and it makes them feel really good. And they're like, I've done some work. And then they don't do it for like a month. And then they wonder why the business doesn't fucking grow. The final thing I mentioned is having some fucking balls. Not literally. So, Catherine, don't worry. You don't have like an uphill medical battle in front of you. You don't literally have to grow a pair of balls. However, I think Catherine's got more balls than most people on this call. Uh, however, like get a fucking grip sometimes is what I'm basically trying to say. Like you are going to have shit days. It's not all going to go to plan. So what? It really doesn't matter. And I think honestly, the ladies over the guys sometimes have more fucking balls. You're gonna have a bad day. It's gonna go wrong. Your client is gonna fucking leave you. Like you're gonna get a bad review. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. You're alive. Just keep pushing. These things I think are incredibly important. If you take nothing from this call, take these things right here. What's flopped in ads? A lot of them, as you've just seen. All right, we're testing a lot. Whenever you're going to try something and test something, it's not going to go to fucking plan. Again, I try to grow some balls. I got over the hill. I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Beyond that, then, my personal lessons. And I really, really like this part because sometimes I forget these personal lessons. And in fact, one of these lessons here is from last month, and I have to put it there again because I still didn't fucking learn it. For me, first things first is who you're speaking to matters a lot. Hence, moving from the UK to the USA. Now, does that mean that we're never going to take on a UK client? No, we take on UK clients every single week, and the majority of them are great. But there's also a minority of those people. Does it mean that we're never going to run a UK ad? No, it doesn't. But what's reminding me is like it matters who you speak to. It matters who you put yourself in front of. You could have the greatest offer in the world. Alex could be sitting there speaking and go, "Oh, I've got an amazing offer. This is fantastic. I'm going to change your life." But if you're speaking to the homeless guy in New York, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Not one bit. Second thing, most people are weak. Kind of ties into the gross and balls part. All right. What I mean by most people are weak is again, hard times come along and they drop out. And normally this isn't 30 days of hard times, this is 24 hours of hard times, and it's an impulse decision. You are going to have ups and downs. If we think about it like a client's weight loss journey, it does not just look like that. It goes up, it comes down, it comes up, it comes down. Business is that on steroids. It's way up and then way down, and then way up and way down. And then it kind of plateaus and then goes way up and way down again. It's a roller coaster of emotions. But most people just can't handle that. And that's fine. But they shouldn't be running a business. They should go get a job. Expectations make or break. Have I just said that one? Yep, covered that one. It's just another lesson. Beyond that one, this is the one I had from last month that I've had to put there again because I haven't learned this lesson for the second time. No matter how good you make it, people might leave, and that's okay. I get emotional when people leave the group. If I'm going to be honest with you, if half of my one-on-one clients left next week, there would be more revenue lost. It wouldn't bother me as much as 5 people leaving the group today. And it's a lot less revenue. because I think that we're building something so fucking good. I can't get my head around why somebody would want to leave. However, I need to put my personal emotions to my one side. And again, I'm speaking to myself here and know that it's okay. People will leave no matter how good you make it. Netflix has like a 2% churn. You have access to nearly like every film on the planet for like $9 a month. All right. That's a pretty fucking good offer. All right. You've never had that in the whole of history. People still don't think that that's very good and they leave. So no matter what you do, sometimes people are going to leave. And again, that's speaking to myself here. And the last one, it's never as bad as what you think it is. And this is just going back to what I was saying before with all churn versus the others, where I just had an expectation that somebody else's was doing way better. And in reality, it just wasn't. This was just my imagination or my, what would I call it? My belief that just wasn't true. And I based it off no data whatsoever. Ideas that I'm going to explore then, I would love to still hit the fucking top 20 in the school games. And we're going to spend a lot of money on ads to hopefully try and get there, but I would love your help as well. And what I would need from your help is just speak to another coach. Send another coach, say, hey, I've just joined this group. I did used to
What,
pay $10,000.
what qualifies as the top 20 at this point for school? Like how many members?
So it's not even based on members, it's based on revenue kept within the quarter. So if we go on games, I'm in the money category, which ironically is the fucking most competitive category. And the very bottom is around about 6K. I haven't done the calculations, but I think we're just below this. We've had like a week on ads, which you would have seen, where it's like
So 6K a month is the
no. So the way that the school games works is your MML growth since it began. So the fact that
okay.
so if we like this guy's got 31K MML right now, but that doesn't take into consideration. It's just since you started.
Got you. Got you.
Like I say, the way that you guys can help us is just tell another coach that we exist. Share the affiliate link. Obviously, if you think it's fucking good, please don't invite people if you think it's shit. That doesn't build a very good community. YouTube. Just give me like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Does anybody watch YouTube here? Yeah, cool. We need to start doing YouTube. Amazing. Uh, we started doing YouTube, or I started doing YouTube, and then I just got bored of it, really. There's no real excuse. We do need to continue it though, because we actually took on our first ever USA client from YouTube like a few months ago, and he'd never heard of me. He just came across one of the videos, and I should have took that as the sign of do more of this, right? But I didn't, because I'm a bit dumb sometimes. But we're going to go back to it. And then final one of the things I'm going to explore is guest webinars. I think it's time to start getting people in the community and doing guest appearances and guest webinars on certain key topics. What I would love, though, is I would love to know what you guys are interested in, because I'm just going to make assumptions and you might be thinking that's really shit, right? I'm not really interested in that. So let me know who you guys think would be interesting to bring in, and I'll try and reach out and I'll try and get them in. The more people that we have in the community, the more pulling power we've got to pull people in, obviously. Yeah. Changes then. This is what's coming to the group before we wrap up. First off, building a brand module is live. It is fucking awesome. Inside the community, if you go to Classroom, you scroll right the way at the bottom and you go to building a brand right here. You can't miss it. It pops a lot. You got a whole module here on building a brand. These guys are amazing at brands. All right. They charge you a lot of money if you want to work with them one-to-one. They've just done an extremely in-depth course for you right here. If you're a female coach, click this button right here. There's a bunch of free shit there for you. If you're a male coach, click this one here. There's a bunch of free shit for you there as well. Self-awareness, customer centricity, strategic vision, sorry, brand identity, consistency, and cultivate. It's an extremely in-depth module. If you're brand new and you're just starting this, you might want to put it to one side. But it's very, very high level stuff. It's really, really good. Definitely check that out. The second thing is the copywriting module. I wasn't going to give the dirt. I'm going to give the dirt instead. All right. We had a guy that was coming in for the copywriting module, and he decided he wanted to change the terms and conditions at the last moment. I basically told him that's not fucking happening, and we went back to square one. So we've actually leveled up, and we've got a way better copywriter coming in. I'm not going to mention any names, but she's wrote copy for some of the biggest mentors in the whole industry. She's incredibly good. She's going to come in and do a full breakdown of copywriting for you guys, and even leveraging AI to write copy for you as well. This is going to be extremely fucking good. That's going to come next month. There is a secret project that I'm working on. I'm not going to say anything about it because obviously it's a secret project. You can't talk about secret projects, otherwise it would not be a fucking secret. But what it will do is save you a lot of time and money. And I'm not like just like throwing that out there as like a bullshit statement. It will do both of those things. I can't say any more about that because it's a secret project. But what I will say is you're welcome, and you want to get it for being a BFM member. So congrats to you. Nice, guys. Sweet. Well, we've wrapped that up with 15 minutes to go. And there's more people here than what I thought there was because when I started this, it was like 5 years. So at least I didn't say that because I would have felt a lot more nervous. Where's everyone at then? What's everyone's thoughts? You got any questions?
There was a question in the chat, Ryan. Tom asked about the kickback incentives. So if you want to run through that as well.
Do you know that we've got an affiliate program, Tom? Yeah. So yeah, that's the kickback. So it's a 40% month on month commission. So let's say that you refer Catherine here in pounds, it's £100 a month. So you get £40 every month that she decides to stay.
I know that. I was wondering about did they get an incentive as well? It's okay.
The person that signs up.
Mhm.
Not not at the minute because I wasn't personally, I wasn't sure what more we could add on as like an incentive for you to say to the person, you also get this thing here because we already give everything. Uh, However, if school was to bring something out where they got a percentage of it as well as a discount, I would be more than happy to do that. Like I would be willing to half somebody's cost to join on month one, practically let them in for free, and just cover the cost of paying you if that allowed me to. But it
The
doesn't right
price
now.
is more than fair anyway. You just
Yeah.
ask him to yes, I would be fair anyway, so I know.
Yeah. But yeah,
Because
if there was a chance for us to do that, like that's built inside the school, I would do it in a heartbeat because it would just make it such a low barrier to entry for somebody. But yeah,
got it.
nice, sweet. Anyone else got any questions? Are you all just sitting there trying to take all that information in? Or are you just sitting there thinking, God, Ryan, your business is fucking shit?
I
I
think
thought
I
it was
think for
cool to
me,
have this transparency. It's cool to see the behind the scenes stuff.
You ever thought about doing anything like that with your clients?
Honestly, no, but like you mean showing them exactly my business breakdown,
Yeah.
like my personal training clients.
Yeah, but you don't have to show them everything, the total ins and
Yeah.
outs. But it does the opposite of what everybody is scared of. Like I'm scared. The thing that I'm scared of is somebody says, "Oh, like there's 25 people that's left this month. Oh, it must be okay to leave. I'll leave." That's what I'm worried about. But people don't do that. People go, "Actually, like this is a cool place to be. I like this. I like the authenticity. I'll stay here." So when we were doing the fitness coaching, I started videoing our like monthly P&L breakdowns with the team. So we would talk through what we're making, how much we spent on ads, the intakes, everything. And people liked it because I don't
Yeah,
think people are dumb. Like they know it's a business, but what people don't like is that it feels like it's a secret and not like a just come in, we run a fucking really good product. So I'll just tell you.
yeah. It was interesting to see the ad spend, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you run ads right now? Or
I run ads quarterly, um, and honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm glad that I signed up for this. But I do end up having good results somehow. I use a videographer. You could probably see on my Instagram. I usually run an ad every 3 months, and it gets pretty good views and pretty good revenue. But I'm excited to learn from this community and learn from some other people that I have engaged with my business, so that when I run my next ad,
yeah,
I should do even better.
100%, dude. The thing with ads is like I just think everyone overcomplicates the whole thing. They'll sit there for hours and think like, how am I going to grow this? How am I going to grow this? And there is only four ways to fucking do it. Like yourself, unless you want to build out a huge affiliate program and a huge referral scheme that compounds, but only like a huge referral scheme like that it normally works in software companies. where one client gets one and a half and stuff like that. But for like a service-based business, like you're gonna run ads or you're gonna fucking run some form of cold email or cold calling. Unless you're extremely good at making content and you get hundreds of thousands of followers every single month. But even that way, I think it's a fucking pain in the arse because then you got to filter through a shitload of people. And usually you don't really deliver a high touch point service when you have that sort of offer. So the
Yeah,
ads,
and what's interesting in the States too, I don't know if you're even aware of this, like a lot of coaches, because a lot of coaches come to me and talk to me about different things. I've been doing it for a while and have had a decent amount of success. You'll have coaches in the US who have 300,000 followers, 500,000 followers, but they're not generating income off their followers. They're not running ads. So that's what I think is pretty interesting. It's more about quality than quantity. It's more about, the people who are engaged with your content. Are they actually purchasing anything?
yeah, 100%. So I think I've told this story before. I was lucky because the first mentorship that I signed into, there was a hot seat of a guy that just done like 42 grand that month. And he shared his Instagram and he had about 2,000 followers. And instantly my belief on I need a huge following to make money was destroyed. It was broken. And then it just constantly gets reinforced when I talk to coach after coach after coach that has 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers, IFBB Pro card, and they're broke. They've got nothing at all. And then I'll jump on a call and there's a coach that I think's maybe just started. He's got some decent content up, 4,000 followers. I'm like, oh, how much you doing? I'm like 24K a month. And I'm like, yep, that's just reinforced it even more. Jerry, it's just it's again and again and again. But the ads is just that's what you're going to scale with. I don't know if you've seen. I posted a screenshot of one of the clients I helped with ads on my Instagram the other day, where he took on like 75 clients last month. He's just done like
Yeah.
£87,000, yeah, which is like $115,000 a month or something.
Yeah, no, that was dope. Is he in your one-on-one or is he in the
So I just
full
help him
group?
with ads. I just help him with ads. That's it. So like we'll script an ad and
Oh,
you'll
okay.
and you'll video an ad. That's it. It's where all
Is
of
that like a separate service? Like how much do you
that's the
charge to just
one-on-one.
help?
That's the one-on-one. That's the one
That's
out.
a one-on-one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Nice.
But like he laughs because he's like he doesn't make any organic sales at all. Like he'll just get the odd one here and a few referrals come in and that, but it's just ads. That's it.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's I don't see the issue.
How much does he spend a month? Typically like 10K or
I think he's just spent about 10 grand this month.
yeah, it makes sense.
He was spending about 15K a month before we started working together, and it was costing about 480, £500 to acquire a client, and then we switched things up, and it brought it down to about 250, so that halved his CAC. But if you can get back up to spending the 15K on half the CAC, well, yeah, your business just fucking starts to take off, doesn't it? But
Yeah,
but yeah,
cool.
it's just what one thing he's very, very good at it. And he's somebody that I respect personally because he can just stay focused on one thing, not try this thing and that thing and that thing. And like he's in a position now where he doesn't do the coaching, he doesn't do the sales calls, he doesn't do any of that stuff. So he's got time to spend on new things. But through that whole growth phase, it was just get better at ads, get better at ads, get better at ads, get better at ads. I'm gonna upload a post after this. Les was at like 7.6K like 5 months ago or something, and he's at 32K like now. And we're just running one ad, and 3.5, 4 months ago, we started at £5 a day. I think he's just spent about 5 grand this month on ads, but just one thing.
That's a solid return. Yeah,
It's really good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um,
If they ever had the availability, that would be cool to have a couple of those guys hop on one of these calls at some point. I think that's pretty cool because I still spend some. Like when I say I'm not running ads right now, I still do something called local services with Google. So I still do spend some money on ads, but that's more just for Google visibility.
yeah,
But 5K on ads and having that type of return, that's solid.
yeah. So I think so if I'm talking, I'll have to have a chat with him, but I think if we're looking at dollars, then maybe it's like $6,000, and I think it's maybe returned about 20 to 24K collected or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a great investment.
yeah. I'll ask him if he's going to do a hot seat. He's just in a testimonial, so I'm sure he's going to do a hot seat. It'll be fine. We'll get them all and grill them.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Funny enough, if you want to know what ad he's running, it's actually in the poll, and he has no problem sharing it with you. Inside the IG follower funnel, if you come down to picking your creative, it is this one right here. It's just him in his garden with literally no editing, just saying the right things, and his daughter runs up, and it's really cute. And dad's bye, happy days, done, business,
That's
hard.
dope.
But yeah, sweet, nice guys. We'll wrap it up then. If you have any questions, if you want anything covered, just drop us a message, post in the community. But apart from that, I appreciate you showing up, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Cool. Thanks, Ron.
Good night, guys. Bye.
See you later,
Maybe.
bye.